Hey there, friends. Welcome to Bronze Medal Moms. We aren't going for gold, we're going for bronze on the daily. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amanda, and we are here to remind you that you don't have to be perfect to show up, survive, and even thrive in motherhood.
All right, welcome back to Bronze Medal Moms, the podcast for moms who are doing their best but are totally fine not being perfect. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amanda, and today we're tackling something that every mom has struggled with at some point: making mom friends. Because let's be honest, trying to make a new friend as an adult is basically like dating, but with more chaos, more snacks, and a lot more like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired.
And a much higher chance that someone will have a meltdown and not just the kids.
Very true. Very true. Okay, so let's start with this. Why is making mom friends, special mom friends, why is making mom friends so dang hard?
It is hard, right? And I don't know, I even think it's sometimes a little awkward, but I think the main reason it's so hard is because we're tired, right? And when you become a mom, this is the stuff no one tells you about. Like people tell you about babies and diapers and all that, but when you're a mom, your social skills are like 50% convincing a tiny human to wear shoes and then 50% talking to yourself while you're strolling the aisles of Target.
I had a battle with the wearing the shoes this morning, and it was ridiculous. It was a full on like wrestling match with a 3-year-old to get those shoes on him. But you're totally right. You're totally right. And unlike when we were younger, like remember how easy it was to make friends when you're younger. Like you're not in the same class in high school. You're not in the same dorm room anymore that you're like, hey, do you have this class? Cool. Let's be besties. My locker's near yours. Cool. We're both playing basketball. We're playing volleyball. Whatever it is, it's not that easy.
Right. It's not. Now it's like, oh, your kid threw a fit in the grocery store? Should we be friends? Are we going to like trauma bond over this? Or are we going to pretend we didn't see each other?
and, yeah. And don't forget that making new friends requires effort. And moms don't have the time for effort. Like I can barely keep up with the laundry and let alone a full blown social life.
It's true because you're right. Before you become a mom, friendships involve going out with your friends, hanging out with your friends. And like moms don't always have that time. Like we barely have time to get our own stuff done in the house and with the kids. How are we going to have time for friends? But here's the thing. I think moms, probably more so than most people, we desperately need other mom friends because
100%.
I mean, there's nobody else that it understands what a mom's going through and that level of exhaustion. Like when you put your phone in the fridge or accidentally call your kid by the dog's name, no one understands that more than another mom.
Well, and another point, a lot of people like, oh, my husband's my best friend, my spouse is my best friend. It's not the same. I guarantee it's not the same. Like you can have a spouse that is your best friend. That is the person you want to call the time the anything exciting happens. But mom friends are so important.
So important. I'm so glad you mentioned
Right?
that because, like, I love my husband. I've known him since we were 8, but there are things I talk to my mom friends about that, like,
Oh,
as much as he'd want to understand it, he just doesn't. He just doesn't get it.
and then you'd have to re-explain it.
Yeah.
Instead, a mom friend is just like, yeah, I got you.
Right. And besides, when my dear, sweet, amazing husband leaves every cabinet in the kitchen open, I can't talk to him about that. I got to talk to my mom friends about it.
You know what I always think about with that is that scene from Sixth Sense. Remember that scene where like the mom leaves the kitchen, she comes in, all the doors are open, like, ah, it's a ghost. Like, no, it's your husband.
That is so true. Okay, so we need mom friends, but where are some of the best places to find them? Like, how do you actually find mom friends? Because one, they're not going to show up on your doorstep with coffee and like emotional support snacks, even though, boy, wouldn't that be great? But
I
two,
mean, is
we're
that
not,
a thing? If that's a service I can sign up for, sign me up. But
I mean, I feel like maybe we should start it.
yeah, maybe that's a service that comes. It's a monthly subscription. Someone just
Right.
comes with emotional support snacks, coffee, and wine.
Right, right. But we're not going anywhere really where like you're looking where you're going to meet other people, like you said before when we were like
Right.
younger and non. So, okay, I think let's go through like some of the top, I don't know, 3 or 4 places, right? So the first one is obviously the playground. This is like the
You-
classic mom friend hunting ground, right?
Right. You're going to find other moms there. You're going to find
Exactly.
somebody there.
Find other mom. But here's the thing, and I have found this to be so true in kind of my like journey to make mom friends. You you have to be willing to make the first move. Like
Mhm.
and this goes right back to like the dating pool, which is so crazy, but
Yes.
dating is totally like making mom friends. You have to make the first move because they're just as desperate to make a mom friend as you, but no one is going to come up to you saying, "Hey, I like how you bribed your kid with fruit snacks to get off the slide. You want to be my best friend?" Right?
Well, and honestly, they should have. That's a solid move. I should try that. I should try that. Bribing my kids and being like, everyone,
Yeah,
we're in.
yeah. Total solid move. Okay, so the playground, that's one, but you got to be willing to make the first move.
And remind yourself at the playground. Actually, remind yourself at any of these places. Again, we each go back to dating back and forth, but like everyone is just as nervous as you are. Everyone's just as like timid and shy as you are. So if you're saying something, even if you say something dumb, it's probably going to be the best icebreaker because they're going to laugh, and then she's probably going to be like, "Oh, I say weird things too. Cool."
So true. So true. So another one where moms have found friends are like mom groups or like, mommy and me classes. So you can find local mom groups on Facebook. I know there's mommy and me or what are those? MDOs, Mother's Day Out programs, right?
Yes. And
And
now it used to be MOPS, but now it's called MomCo. It
uh,
used to be MOPS, Mothers of Preschoolers, but now it's called MomCo because apparently MOPS meant something dirty in England.
oh, I didn't know that. It's interesting.
I
No,
just learned that this year.
that's another podcast.
It's all another podcast.
But so I know this kind of sounds like forced social interaction, but kind of hear me out here because one, there's definitely moms there, right? Because it's all about the moms. And they're probably moms who join because they actually are looking for some adult interaction a little bit. And you might find your fellow like bronze medal moms, like the let's just survive this moms, right? But again, you have to be willing to kind of make that first move. So if your kid's running around like, a wild animal and another mom gives you the look of solidarity, like go make the first move, instant friendship. Or if another kid is running around wild, you give them the solidarity look, right? Like don't judge them because their kid's running around like an idiot because it's just a matter of time before your kid does the same thing.
Well, and some of the mom groups have built-in childcare, like the MOPS or the MomCo stuff, or like you're saying, the MDOs, the Mother's Day Out. They have childcare, so it lets you actually take a breather and not have part of a conversation while also being down here, part of a conversation while also handling this one down here. Like you're actually having a full conversation with another adult instead of trying to multitask like a crazy person.
Yeah, good point.
So another one that I love is doing activities that you actually enjoy. Do not force yourself. I repeat that, actually enjoy. Do not force yourself into a yoga mom class if you hate yoga. You're not going to find your crew there. You're not going to blend there. If you love coffee, find a mom's coffee meetup. If you like reading, look for a book club, like a neighborhood book club, or your library, I'm sure, has a book club. Making mom friends doesn't mean sacrificing your personality. Making mom friends takes work, but we don't want it to feel like work. It should be doing something fun.
So true. One place that I have made 2 really good mom friends was the nail salon.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah. So, like back a few years ago, I used to go to the same salon pretty regularly to get my pedicure. And when I'd go there, I'd keep my head down. I'd like read a magazine. It was like me time to be on my phone. But then I realized
Oh, yeah.
he would like to meet more moms. So, and we'll talk about this in a minute, like how to do this without being creepy. But I took my head up, put my phone away, and started engaging with the other women there getting their nails or toes done. And I met two moms that I'm still really good friends with that way. So you're right. It's got to be.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. So another place though that most people don't think of though is actually car pickup line or maybe even like the PTA.
Mhm.
Like in a chill way, right? Because not all PTA moms are like the stereotypical intense, right? Some are like us bronze medal moms that are just there for the bake sale cookies or the social escape or
There's a lot of PTA moms going for gold.
right, right. That's true. And they're awesome. We love them. Like
They're awesome.
they run the
They're going to be in
PTA.
trash.
Right, right. But sometimes school, like Carline, that's a great time for casual combos. Like,
Right.
lift your head up from your phone, roll your window down, or maybe even step out of the car. And you never know what other mom is there looking for a new mom friend.
I think I might have mentioned this once, but I used to um, vacuum out my car in Carline, and I met a mom friend because she popped out of the car and was like, "Can I borrow that when you're done?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." It was perfect. But and speaking of car pickup line, I wanted to add this other one that I thought I have a friend that does this, and I was like, "What a great way to meet more people." She fosters dogs. Yes, did you know you can do this? You do not have to have a full time pet. You can foster a dog, a cat, a puppy, kitten, or plural of cats, puppies, kittens, all of them for a short period of time. And I'm saying, like, usually it's like, it could be a week. It could be, if they're puppies, it could be like 8 weeks to make sure they're, get acclimated, whatever. But you can do it just for a short period of time. And I actually have a sweet friend that does this, and she'll bring the puppies every so often to car pickup. And talk about a great way to, like, the kids, first of all, are going crazy because they're like, "Ah, there's puppies." And she just keeps them all like in her truck. They're not like running in the parking lot. But she then also meets the parents, and it doesn't have to be like this full blown like play date. It's just like, "Hey, remember, you're the mom with the puppies. That's fun.
That's
It's
brilliant.
a fun thing."
Yeah, it's so fun. She could also be the mom that brings the puppies to the playground.
Right. Stuff like that, that just makes it kind of a fun little interaction, that it doesn't have to be this whole big thing.
Yeah. Well, I love this. Although for me, someone who currently has 3 dogs but is about ready to have 6 dogs, um, fair warning, like I probably would not be able to do this. I would fail and end up with like a whole mini zoo of multiple dogs. So if you do this, do not get attached to your foster. Really only plan to keep it for a couple of weeks.
You got to stay strong. You got to stay
Yeah.
strong and tell the kid, if we find homes for these ones, then we will help find homes for the next one. Like,
There you
it,
go.
it is a process. It's also a good way to get a whole zoo in your house. But
Yeah. Well, and so we've covered some other, good places to make mom friends. Oh, you know what I just thought of?
oh,
I joined my neighborhood social committee that plans like some neighborhood events to meet other moms. And that's definitely helped like meet other moms in the neighborhood, which is pretty.
I love that.
Not everyone has that option, but we have kind of a really active neighborhood. So that's super fun. But now you're at the place. So you're at the playground, you're in Carline, you're at a mom's meetup.
You did it. You made it to your destination.
You made it, right? But then how do you make the first move without being like a total weirdo creep? Okay.
So you need a solid, low key opener. None of that like, "Hi, like your energy." Like, oh dear, don't come in too hot.
So true. So my favorite, and I actually teach this to my daughter a lot, is the compliment approach, right?
Mm.
Like everyone loves a compliment. And if you
Yes.
love something, say it out loud to people, right? I love your stroller. Is it good on sidewalks? Boom. Ice broken. Now you're friends.
Well, can we also say, if there's some people out there in the world that are not getting compliments, it's moms.
Oh, right? So true.
Moms are not getting complimented. You could compliment her shoes, her clothes, her bag, her nails, anything, her car,
Anything.
anything, anything. And it's like, wow, someone recognized me. Someone noticed me. And I'm doing good. Like, it'll go, the compliment approach goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I also love my kid is also losing an approach, which I'm in full swing with this since I have excuse me, I have an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, and an almost 3-year-old. So we're like pre-hormonal, full-on temper tantrums for my bookends. It's just a magical, magical time in my home. But if your kids are both throwing tantrums, make eye contact with that person. Don't judge them, but just say like, so it's that kind of day, huh? This works every time. Like, I don't want to, I'm trying to think of a better word, maybe empathizing, but I want to say the word commiserating
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's what you're doing. You're like, yeah, I'm kind of having one of those days. My kid's losing it. I lost it all this morning. And
And,
it's fine how many moms are like, yeah, same.
yes. And can we also, like, let's just make this a rule that as moms, we do this anyway, even if we're not looking to make a new mom friend, because when kids are having a meltdown, there is nobody who hates that more than the parent, right? They
Right.
already feel like people are judging them. They're feeling like a bad parent. And this happens so often, especially, sorry, I'm going to get off on a little tangent here, but when I'm traveling and I'm on an airplane, and I see a mom who has a kiddo who's struggling or throwing a tantrum or crying, I make it a point now to get up, help the mom. Can I get you, like, especially it's usually when we're boarding, right? So I'm like,
Right.
"Can I hold your baby while you put your luggage up? Can I put your luggage up? I've gone through my bag before and given a dad like extra snacks that I had because so many other people are rolling their eyes and judging that mom or dad.
Right.
So,
And it's not like the mom's like, I can't wait to get on the plane. So my baby has a temper tantrum.
right. That's what I'm like, listen, nobody wants that kid to stop
Yeah.
screaming at their tantrum more than the parents.
I
So,
had one, I'm gonna shout out a friend. I won't say her name, but she'll know that I'm talking about her. So last week, my almost 3-year-old, another like our school is 15 months all the way to 8th grade. So like the 2-year-olds have lunch at the same time as like kindergarten and first grade, and then you like the grades mesh up together. Well, a first grader went to hug my 3-year-old, and my 3-year-old bit hit hard, hard, like it was a chunk. And I know his mom. We're even friends with this kid, and so I don't know what made my kid bite this kid. I was beside myself. I was doing all the right things. I was like making sure he apologized. I went up to the kid, made sure the kid was okay, and talked all the things through. And another mom came over and was like, "Hey, you're doing a really good job." And I was like, "No, I'm not. He just bit someone." And she goes, "I know we hold ourselves to such a high standard, but you're doing a good job. You're okay. I promise. I see your heart is hurting right now, and I want to be here for you." And I was like, that was amazing.
my
And
gosh. Yes.
after I was like, I was so blown away and I was so taken by it. And it made me feel so safe to talk to her later about like, yeah, we're really having a hard time with this one. And she was like, I know we have this and this. And it was just such a wonderful moment that she didn't have to do that, but going out of her way to say, you're okay. Your kid messed up. And I know you weren't hoping that your kid was going to bite someone today.
Right. Right. Oh my gosh, that's so great. I love that.
Yeah,
You know,
it was pretty amazing.
I have a new mom friend bite story. It's a little different, but um Sarah and I are friends. I'll use her name, but we didn't know each other at first. And we were like, you know what? We want to be friends. Our kids are the same age. Let's kind of like have a play date together. We'll let the kids play and we can get to know each other. Our kids were like 2. And so her and I are really getting along. We're downstairs in the kitchen. I think we were having like, lunch or something. And all of a sudden, my daughter upstairs in the playroom screams bloody murder because her son had bit my daughter. Right. And
The boys are biting.
right, they're biters. And so it could have gone a million different ways. But I looked at Sarah and she looked at me. And then she looked at my daughter and she said, well, bite him back. I was like, all right, we're going to be mom friends.
That's what they're gonna do. Do you know what they used to do at a preschool we went to? Is the biter kids, because they're not allowed to say like who bit who and
Right.
whatnot, like because they don't want to start a whole thing. Which I get. I think
Right.
that's total like privacy and that's good and all that
Right.
stuff. But they used to make the biters wear baseball caps so that when they went in to bite, it would like
Really? I
genius.
can't tell you who it is, but it's all the kids
But
in baseball
you
caps.
know, who's wearing a baseball cap?
That is pretty.
Yeah, that's the biter right there. But it was genius because they could see the kid like struggling, like I want to get there.
Oh,
That hat would like,
so oh my gosh, it's so genius. Well, so we also know kids actually make friends like so easy. I mean, literally,
right.
you put a bunch of strange kids at a playground, they're all besties within like 2 minutes.
That's
It's
it.
amazing. So if that happens, then we need to use it to our advantage and go up to the mom and be like, looks like we have, little besties that are playing together. What's your name? Or, you know, so
Exactly.
let the kids do it for you. That happens a lot.
Well, and sometimes it's also okay just to be honest. If you go up to someone and like, hey, our kids look about the same age. I'm looking for new mom friends. You want to grab coffee?
Yeah.
You want to like where y'all? And if you're at the park, you'd be like, hey, y'all live near this park?
Yeah.
We live over there.
That is how I made my mom friends that I told you about earlier at the nail salon. I stopped looking at my magazine, stopped looking at my phone, and I think I maybe complimented her nail color or something, and then just asked, like, do you live around here? Blah, blah. And we started talking about kids. And then I said, listen, I really enjoyed chatting with you because, my nails were done and it was time for me to leave. I said, and it is so hard to make mom friends, and this may be really super awkward, but I would love to hang out again. Can I friend you on Facebook and we can go grab a coffee? And she was like, oh my gosh, yes. So we friended each other right then. And then I screenshot it so I didn't forget. And I sent her a message while she was still right there in front of me that said, hey,
I
let's
love that.
grab lunch next week. Yeah. And then we went and grabbed lunch and it was great. But again, kind of takes that effort, right? Had I just like got up and left, probably wouldn't maybe have followed back up, but totally okay, to be honest. I love it. I love that approach.
Well, yeah. And what's going to happen? You tell them they give you your info or they say no, or you say, can we meet for coffee? And they're like, yeah, no. Or they just don't respond. And it's a big deal.
Right. Exactly. All
right. So I feel like we've got we go to our places, we've got our stuff, we've said the right thing, but life still happens. How do we keep these new friendships alive? Because like we said, when you were in the same classes for 4 years or the same dorm, it's pretty easy to keep that friendship alive, but this is going to take some effort.
That's right. It is. And, let's be real. Mom life is totally chaotic. We don't even have enough time for ourselves, let alone, spending a lot of time with friends.
Right.
So how do we keep the friendship alive as a mom? Because,
well,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, and I'll say this, like, I have 100% seen or read a text from someone at a red light and swore I responded and then realized later I only responded in my head. And, or even worse, someone's like, hey, let's meet up. And I respond yes in my head, but then never did respond, but I do meet up.
Right.
Why? What happened?
Right.
I mean, that happens all the time, I think. And it's like I'm ghosting someone on accident,
Right.
And it's not intentional.
No, I think part of that is the mom load, like the mental load we have in our head as moms. So I'm so guilty of doing the same thing you just said. I read a text at a red light or I'm going to the bathroom or in between. And then before I get a chance to respond, a kid needs me, the light changed. And so you're right. It's not on purpose. And a lot of times too, if we do make plans, moms have to cancel because something came up with the kid or the family, right? And in regular friendships, if that would happen, you might get upset or you might stop asking them out. But I think you have to have that grace and really understand, like, this is the mom friendship. It's different. Like, there's different rules around friendships, right? I think you have to keep it low maintenance. Like, not every hangout has to be an actual night out and a whole thing. sometimes it's like, hey, you want to meet at the park so our kids can run around and like burn some energy, right?
And it can be totally last minute.
Yes.
Plan it.
Yes. Doesn't take much planning, right?
Well, and if someone does cancel, like you said, you have to be chill about the canceling of plans because you have to realize your life is, juggling all the things. So if a mom cancels, there's a 90% chance she's telling the truth about what she's canceling. Excuse me, and maybe a 10% chance she's in her jammies and just can't rally for the day and was like, not going.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's
Yeah.
okay. That's totally okay.
Right. And so I think if you're on the end where the person cancels, keep inviting them, like keep showing up for them. But if you are also the friend that had to cancel, and I saw a reel about this the other day and I really liked it. It was like, yeah, life happens. Like kids stuff comes up. So if you have to cancel, but then say, hey, but I really want to go out again. Like, when can we do it again? Or, hey, can I have you over to my house for coffee? Or like make a step for that next kind of get together, because you're right. Friendships do take a give and, from both sides. Like you both have to put in the effort, right, to keep the friendship alive. But so I just think it's low maintenance, and you will figure out, who your mom friends are. I love my mom friends that I don't have to pick up my house for. I don't have to clean my house. Like they can come over. I can come over to their house in my slippers because I didn't feel like changing into real shoes, or you know what I mean? Like,
I know if I go to someone's house and it's spotless clean and they apologize for the mess, that's not my,
right, right,
we're not friends.
right. You're like, that's not going to work.
She's not in my circle because I did have a funny one. Once a girl came over to my house and she was picking up Girl Scout cookies, of all things. And she goes, "Your house is so clean." And I go, "Well, I knew you were coming. Like, come over on a random Tuesday and it's a total shit show." And she's like, "Oh, really?" Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
If I know someone's coming over, I'm picking up.
But listen, it is like leveling up. It is like next level mom friendships when
Yeah.
you reach the point to where your friend can come over and there's like dog hair all over the floor. There's like laundry on the couch and you don't bat an eye. Because honestly, never care coming over. It's always us, right? Like that's level.
They don't care. They don't care. And remember also group texts. Don't be afraid of group texts. Group texts are great because maybe sometimes, one friend doesn't want to hang out, but the other one does. Like we have got a great group text for both the grades that my older kids are in, that sometimes there's a whole book club that some of them are doing, and I'll do it this one time, but I won't do it this other time because it doesn't work for me. That doesn't matter. It's totally fine. But be in those group texts. It's so great to have that kind of sounding board for people to ask questions and like, anybody else stressed about tonight's math homework? Because what the hell?
Yeah, right.
Bounce ideas off like that.
I love it. Well, and I'm a big fan too of putting in the effort to make the mom friends, like easy effort. Cause like you said, no one's going to show up at our door with, coffee and like whatever we said.
One day, maybe.
One day. Let's see if we can start that. But, and again, this doesn't apply to everybody, but if you live in a neighborhood like I do, one, I highly recommend having friends move in as neighbors, because that has been a game changer for a friendship I have with one of my mom friends, because it's so much easier. Like you don't even have to get in the car. Like it takes zero effort to come over. So a couple of things that we have done, because, I've decided I want to make more mom friends in the neighborhood, because I just love the idea of like someone coming over for coffee for a little bit in the morning, We have done family game nights. Like we sit down with our calendar, like 1 or 2 days a month where both the families are free, AKA meaning our kids don't have practice or rehearsal or after school activities. And we just pick a couple of board games. We do super easy dinner, or sometimes we each eat at our own house before we come over to the other person's house. But it takes effort, right? And it's so easy on that one night a week to be like, oh, we're too tired. But we show up and it ends up being really fun. The other thing that I have done with another mom in the neighborhood, every 3 or 4 months, we're doing mom's night in. and we're making it a
Cute.
fun theme, but it's low effort. So the first one we did was right in January, and it was a regift party. In other words, bring all the crap you got for Christmas
I
that,
love a re-gift.
yes, that you didn't want. And we each brought like some food. We had some wine. You could wear your stretchy pants. You did not have to put your lashes on. And
Right.
it was so much fun. It was so much
So
fun.
cute. I love that.
Yeah. And one thing I found is that there are so many moms who are craving that connection. They're just waiting for someone to organize it.
Right. Because they don't know where to start.
They don't know where to start.
We do now from our podcast.
Yeah. And then remember, guys, it's okay if a mom friendship doesn't work out, because not every mom is going to be your person. And that's totally fine, right? Maybe that mom is someone else's person, or maybe they're just your person for a season. But if you don't keep yourself out there, then you're not going to find your people. And I promise you, if you keep showing up, you're going to find your mom tribe.
And that totally, having them as your season, huge to remember if you've got especially young preschool kids. The chances of you guys going to preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school, all the way through, slim, super slim. I thought I was going to be so close with all of my kids' preschool because we were so close with everybody. One. I have one for my daughter, one for my son. And so with my baby now, I give myself a lot of grace of like, oh, well, that person I've connected, that person I haven't really connected yet. It's okay. If we're supposed to, we will. Maybe they won't be here. I don't know what's happening with them. I don't know their schedule. I don't know their life. So give yourself some grace of the season of your friends as well.
I love that. I love
So
that.
there you have it. That's how to make mom friends without feeling like a weird social experiment.
I love it. Yeah, making friends as an adult is super weird, but having a solid mom friend is literally a game-changing life hack. So find your people, do not overthink it, and remember, if all else fails, always carry extra snacks and extra Band-Aids, because that's an instant mom friendship tool.
100%. Yeah. Like I said a million times in this episode, but yes, I totally agree. So if you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review and tell us what was the weirdest way you made a mom friend, or maybe the funniest way you did not make that mom friend.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Those are the stories I want to hear.
I know. I want to hear that somebody's like, I totally mommed. It was amazing. So message us on Instagram at Bronze Metal Mom. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to our moms on Bronze Metal Moms. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. See you soon!